Hi guys. So looks like our Ninja ran and it has created so many stuff inside the host tools. Oh, there is a lot going on there. Okay. So as we know that the documentation is there are some issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this command over right here. And it looks like there are not so much of steps, 6,000 steps only, 9,000. So it's a lot. Probably I will have to pause the video again. Actually, what's happening is when I pause the video, because of some weird memory starvation on or stuff, this command prompt it hangs. So I have to close the command prompt, delete the directory, and then rerun that. So as you can see that towards the left there is some live CD ISO file got popped up. Now this live CD is actually the bootable image that we are going to load, and when we load that we will be able to see our operating system running. We got a warning: ISO 9660 file names longer than 31 may cause buffer overflows in the OS. Okay, so this is coming from where? I will have to find that, but for now I am expecting that no one is going to attack my system and I should be good to go. So our build process is complete, and this is our bootable image, guys. So after all the work we should be able to boot this. So let's quickly do that. This is the Hyper-V. I'm using Windows 10, so I have enabled a feature and I have Hyper-V. So we will name it React 0 because it's our first attempt to run this thing, and we'll pick up generation 1. Now if you are having other virtualizer, for example VMware Workstation or the VMware Player or a virtual PC, anything, so I'm not sure how the settings would be for that. So you could try out certain things, and this is based off of Windows XP, so you would have to have old extensions, something. For in my case, I will have to what I will do is I will allocate some memory here, and I guess I wouldn't want to be connected, and I will have these as let's say I give it 80 gigabytes and install the ISO image, and here I have source, then ReactOS, and then live CD, and then finish. So it's creating my virtual machine. So I will talk about the legacy components that are required here in the Hyper-V. So first is this shouldn't be there, and SCCI, because we are using IDE and SCCI is not compatible with this, so I have not tried with that, but I read the documentation and it suggests that this thing should not be there, but I don't care. Means I just want to run this operating system, so you could play around with the configurations. So let's remove that. And another thing is there is another blog which I read. It says about it should be VHD instead of VHDX, but I didn't find any problem with that. And you should disable the checkpoints, otherwise it keeps storing some data all the time, and it takes a lot of space. A network adapter, we already have that. This one here not connected, so we'll just leave it there, and rest everything looks fine. So I will limit this memory. I do not need some 1 million megabytes over there. So apply virtual processor, number of virtual processor 1. and looks like everything is set. We should be able to boot it up. So let's give it a try and connect. So it's booting up, and here we go. Great job, guys. So you have compiled your first operating system, and thanks for being all this time following through these steps, and that's pretty much it. And in the next video we will have a named pipe. What happens is, what is a named pipe? I will briefly explain that. Suppose you have two different processes running in a system, and you want to have some kind of communication between those processes. So what happens is, how would you separate, how would you share some memory, because the process has a memory and it has a thread, and the thread is actually running. So process doesn't run. It could run, I mean, thinking about it, it's just a program. So the thread are actually lightweight processors. So this is a big misconception which I hear from so many people, that process do not run, threads run, whatever. Actually, that's not true. A thread is actually a lightweight process. So we will get into all those things. So the idea is, in order for two machines, two processes to communicate with each other, you need a shared memory. And that's like a pipe. Suppose there are two people holding a pipe at both ends. So if one guy pulls the other end, this guy would feel that effect. So it's kind of a shared resource. So that's what named pipe means. So you identify that, you give that shared memory a name, and then you could transfer data back and forth. So what's going to happen is, in my host operating system, I'm going to run the debugger, and in the guest OS, this ReactOS, so I would create a named pipe, and then I would link that named pipe with the debugger. I will show you that. I have already covered in my kernel programming videos this thing. So we'll do the same here, and we will set up a breakpoint, and then we will see the memory layout. So that's one thing, and how the processes work, and the security context, the networking part, so many stuff. So the idea is, we are going to follow this book. So you must get this book. It's you can purchase it or you could download it, and I will be explaining these concepts through PowerPoint. There are going to be slides, and this guy, this ReactOS virtual machine, is going to be the demo part, where I would be debugging this operating system, and I will show you the modules, and I will see how it goes. Whether at this point of time I have not yet decided whether to show you full assembly code or the C code, because this video is not for the C++ programmers, because we are talking about like assembly language, the assembler, which is much low level. So the C programs would have no idea about that. They think that they know that everything runs in the memory, but I can bet most of them are not aware of how it works in behind the scenes and how the assembly looks like. So there are so many things are going to come up, and we will see. If I find that you need to have some C in kind of a, you want to see how the C program looks like, so I will show you that, but primarily we will be focusing on the assembly x86. So I would highly encourage you to watch my assembly language tutorials, and have a good understanding of that before commencing with this course, or otherwise also it's fine. You could enjoy this course. So let's do some changes over here, and this is our operating system running, and it looks good. So I can run command prompt, and there's so many stuff. This is my computer. This is the whole operating system that we just compiled. So that's all I have for now, and I will see you in the next video. And we will start debugging this operating system, and we will follow along this dinosaur book, and we will learn operating system and we will debug this, and eventually I will contrast this. I will contrast it with real Windows. Probably I would have a Windows XP machine. So it would be like 60-40, like I said, or 50-50. So what we want to have is very good grip on how the operating system works, and then use the things we learned from ReactOS to apply at Windows, because ReactOS is the closest thing you can get to understand Windows. So have a good day. Bye bye. I will see you next time. And if you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.